All right, Nate, the second game on the slate for this Wednesday night NBA playoff slate is the Warriors coming back to the Bay, taking on the Nuggets. Another big spread here, 9 for Golden State, despite losing that last game, as we know. Still a pretty close one. Obviously, only lost by 5, but total is at 226. Went over that in both of the first two, all thanks to the Warriors, who scored 120 plus in those games, and the Nuggets failed to score 110, but still managed to get the over on a total that is very similar to this one at 226. Been hitting it, right? The over seems to be this series is the over series for sure, as opposed to the norm where, you see a lot of things slowing down. But Jokic and team are going to give it their all. You should probably expect another, if it's not a 30-point performance from the Joker, I would say 26 and 13 or something to that effect, right? He's going to be affecting the scoring, whether it's with points or assists, definitely with both. So I don't know. Where do you start with this one? I know we hate taking a 9-point spread. Are you looking for ways to get that down in favor of the Dubs, or do you think it's actually worth it to just take the dog in this one?
Yeah, no, I'm not messing with the spread. I just want the over, like you said. Yeah, and team totals, once I see them, probably leading with the Warriors. But if there's more value on the Nuggets because of this 9-point spread, I'll take them to go over too. Both teams are scoring at a healthy clip in these playoffs. It seems like Joker's kind of figured out how they're defending him a little bit. I mean, getting 37 in these last two games in Denver, but also, he's not getting the assist, but he's getting the hockey assist to Aaron Gordon, who has stepped up and burned that small ball lineup that the Warriors love to use. I mean, they're scoring at a huge clip on the other end, but then, the Nuggets got to punish them down low. That is their advantage. So both teams, scoring, like you said, all 4 games have gone over by an average of 12 points per game. This total is only about 2 points higher than it was the last couple. And the biggest thing, jumping from game 3 to 4, why the Nuggets won, I guess it has to do with pushing the pace a little bit more from 96 to 102, which is a huge jump. Joker actually was a -2 in that game, and they won. He had more turnovers than assists. But pushing the pace allowed them to spread it out more, get a lot of quality looks for Monty Morris and Bones Highland, who is, a really vital player in this series for the Nuggets. They want to keep extending it. I don't know if they're getting 36 free throws is sustainable on the road. They were the 3rd worst team generating free throws on the road, but they did go 20 and 11 to the over as dogs. They did score 120 points per game with 30 dimes per game on the road after the All-Star break and gave up 119 in their last 6 roadies. We know what the Warriors can do with all these splash bros out there. I mean, they're averaging 122 in this series. So for the Nuggets to at least come along a little bit in an elimination spot, I mean, they're gonna keep pace with their offense. I just don't think it's going to be with lockdown defense because they got to win here because Jordan Poole came up short. If all 3 of those guys are cooking, there's almost nothing they can do, and that's why people are thinking the Warriors are going to the finals, because if they have those 3 guys cooking, and there's nothing anyone can do if all 3 are cooking, and Draymond's playing the way he is, who, by the way, was a +18 before fouling out. But Jokic, yes, he's starting to crack Draymond a little bit in terms of getting his own points. And like I said, the Nuggets, Mike Malone's a great coach, and they're adjusting to figure out how to get their points consistently, even though they're not able to stop the Warriors consistently on the other end.
Right. And that's what it comes down to is I think they realize they're not going to be able to hold the Warriors. I'm not saying that they're completely selling out on offense, but with that realization, it helps you, I think, especially Joker, put a little bit more effort on offense and not even necessarily worry about the defense. Now, obviously, the thing to be scared about always with the Warriors and when you're picking an over in their games when they're at home is how good that they are on defense at home. 113 offensive rating through those 2 first games, despite giving up, that's how slow the pace was, is they only gave up 106, right, and 107, I believe, in those first 2, yet they still had a defensive rating at 113 because there just weren't that many possessions. So, that they were able to sort of keep that defensive rating a little higher than you would expect without giving up that many points. So point being, I would say for this one too, like if averaging 122, if Denver gets the 100, right, like 107 points that they are already getting anyway, when they were losing those games to the Dubs in Golden State to start the series, then you still feel really good about the Dubs getting theirs. Their numbers, the only person who has slightly better numbers in the playoffs right now away than at home is Steph Curry, because that's when he started to get more minutes, as we know, started to actually add things up. And Jordan Poole, really, obviously, he's the one who you look at that he just regressed a bit, but they still got their points, man. And actually, Clay had 9 more at home as well, I should say. So it was really mostly Jordan Poole and some of the subs on the road. Obviously, their numbers go down a bit as role players' numbers do. You expect Steph and Clay's numbers to actually go up no matter where they are, especially when they're on the road and need to pick things up for those young guys like Jordan Poole and some inexperienced guys like Wiggins, whatever. But the point is points have been coming in droves, and 226. You would think it would be higher. I think at this 9-point spread, they're obviously saying, I mean, I will tell you, if you do go to Play Picks right now, Nate, we actually do have, Play Picks. If you do go to FanDuel right now, they do have those team totals up. We got 117.5 for the Dubs, 108.5 for the Nuggets there. I think I like that over one. I think I like over on both of them. So I just like over in this game, as we're saying. I think I would feel pretty good about an over. If this was even at like 229, I would feel like, this is a game that the Nuggets, I don't know that they're going to give up until, they're down double digits with, 15 minutes, or 5 minutes left in the fourth, right? Like, it's got to be like clutch time down, like big, for them to go, all right, there is no clutch time here, whatever. And even at that point, Joker's probably in the game until there's 2 minutes left. And my point is they're going to keep coming. Like, Joker's going to have to lose his mind, get a technical, get another one, and be thrown out of the game, which also, by the way, is a possibility. Him not finishing the game, but I think they're just going to be throwing guys out there that are going to be looking to score and push the pace, even if this game gets away from the Nuggets. I think you continue to like an over, because I do think that they're going to come along for the ride enough to get over 226. And like I said, I might consider an alternate spread, as I'm starting to feel really brash about 229 or so.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep coming. Jokic already did his get ejected in the series early on, so I think he probably got that out of his system. Yeah, he's just going to plod along, getting his numbers as he does. And the Nuggets, they've had some confident comments. I mean, they came back from 3-1 against the Clippers 2 years ago, and feel that they can erase this deficit again. I mean, we don't have much confidence in that, but we do think that they're going to come along in terms of points. Like I said, Aaron Gordon's been a key contributor here recently, and at 24.5 PRA, he's topped that by 10 and 7 the last 2 games, like that. I also like Monte Morris at just 12.5 points after he scored 24 last time out. Talking about the Warriors are beatable indeed. If he's going to shoot like that, if he's going to act like Jamal Murray, that's great for the Nuggets. But also looking at Steph and 27.5 points or 38.5 PRA, he's been over those points in 3 straight now since he said I'm back while he was on the floor. He is the splash brother that we trust now, and he's getting a little bit less defensive attention than he was all season, right? Because Clay's finally Clay, and Poole has turned up these playoffs. So also, yeah, I like the player performance doubles you could probably find with Steph, getting 30 in a win. I think he's gonna carry them in this closeout game.
So you go Steph props in this one, maybe over at the other 2 Splash Brothers. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with it. It's always a question, and I don't deny it, because it's also like like I said earlier, his numbers are much better on the road, because that was where the games he started to get more minutes. I think even if they keep moving along with him, which, by the way, I would bet more heavily on Steph actually coming back into the lineup. I think until they lost a game with him coming off the bench in this series, they were fine. I think it's time to just like close this out and get it done. So even if he's not starting, I don't think it'll be very long before he's in the first quarter right away, and then playing 38 to 40 minutes to close this one out and get it over, to be honest, and get some of the rest for those guys. I like him in that for sure. The 30 in a win is plus 174 right now on FanDuel. I would say the Clay 25 in a win I also really like, because I could easily see see him getting 30. Clay is a man who definitely has been known as a killer. Plenty of 30 and 25 plus point games in closeouts in his career as well. I'm looking at these numbers right now for him, and he's done it in about 10 that I'm seeing in a career where he's got a number of closeout games that he's played in. But 25 is easy for him right now, and I think he's cooking. And I think he's also continuing to say, hey, we all love Jordan Poole, and we are all supporting him, and we think he's a star right now that we're going to continue to feed. But like, if it comes down to the end of the game, like, the adults got this. Don't worry about it, and that's what I continue to like for those guys.
That's what I'm thinking is Jordan Poole, his first closeout game, not so much. I mean, they said that the playoff series doesn't start until it's a closeout situation, and he definitely got hit with a rude awakening there. So I think, yes, Steph, that's why I like Steph in this last one.
It's just like when you're like, I don't know, you're in a situation and someone else is like clear, like your parents are like, yo, we got this. And you're like, yeah, but I did this. And they're like, it's cool. Like, good job. But now we're going to take over. We got it. Don't worry about it, And so, yeah, I think that's kind of Steph and Clay at this point with obviously Dre feeding them. And Jordan Poole has a wonderful third option. And even Wiggins has been playing with some assertiveness that you like. So that is all the time we have for you guys in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to follow along with us as we bring you each and every one of these playoff games, as well as these player props. And until we see you next, happy betting.